This is the making of my first fountain tube here. I'm going to show it to y'all so you can get a general idea of what it is composed of. I will try and ad-lib it as much as I know, or narrate it as you will. So let me set up my laptop so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, what I've done is I've taken a tube, took it from a phone book, just for the density of it, rolled it around this dowel. This is a 3/4 inch dowel. Tube fits inside the dowel quite nicely. So what I'm going to do is take my bentonite clay, and I've laid a little bit on the ground to get a smooth bottom, and I'm going to just kind of set it down here and fill it up with, well, what I'm going for is about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch fill in the bottom of my tube. Once I've got what I think is about enough, I'm going to drive it down with a hammer. Normally you might not have to hit it that hard, but I'm trying to go for a solid exhaust port on there. And as you can see, it's pretty tough. Unless I scratch it, it's really not going to go anywhere. And that's the bentonite. Now, smooth out that, and I'm going to take my black powder mixture, and I'm going to fill my tube with a little bit of this black powder at a time, and a little bit more than that. And then I'm going to take my dowel again, put it in there kind of smooth. Careful because it's very fine powder, so it is coming out, as you can see. I'm not going to hit it as hard. Yeah, I don't know, 8 or 10 times, that's what I generally do. And I'm going to take a little bit more of my black powder. Fill in a little bit more. Ram this down as well. Try to not get that black powder to come out all over the place. And as you're ramming it, you can feel it stop compressing to a certain point, and after that you kind of want to stop hitting it, because you don't need to over compact the composition. Otherwise you will risk the chance of it exploding, or maybe something worse happening. I'm not sure. And I'm doing this on a solid surface on the ground, so that I can get a good, even compactness all through it. I don't want anything that's going to bounce or recoil. Yeah, just a little bit more in here. Almost out of black powder, but I can make more. Alright, that should be about good. Pack this final bit down. And note, do not use a metal hammer. You should really use a rubber mallet for doing this in case it causes a spark of some kind. You do not want that to happen, but this is only a temporary setup. And then I'm going to load the top of my casing here with some more bentonite clay, which you can also use cat litter, which is what this is, crushed down to a fine powder. so that it makes a nice solid cap on the end. You ram that down pretty good. Not got any loose powder that you have. And you can see you've got a nice compact end here on both ends. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and grab my drill bit, and I'll be right back. Now I have a drill bit here. It's probably a little small for this application. So what I'm going to do is actually take this and put it right in the center here, spinning it with my hand. You don't want to use a power drill because of the bushings, you know, create sparks and everything like that. You don't want that to happen. So I'm going to take this and just kind of drill a hole down in the top here. Right down into the black powder. And you can use just about any size drill bit that you want. Too small of a hole, you're likely to blow out this end cap here. Too large of a hole, really all that's going to happen is you're just going to have less pressure and velocity coming out of the nozzle. Other than that, the other thing that you're going to want to do, I'll show you in a minute, once I get down to this black powder here, which I think I've made it down to the black powder, you want to go into that just a little ways. As you can see by my drill bit, I have gone that deep into the shell, into the black powder. Now what you're going to want to do, you can see, got a nice little hole in there. You're going to want to flare out the top of this hole a little bit to make it kind of funnel shaped, and this will stop any slag from building up into the top of your fountain tube. And then clean out where your black powder is again. Make sure your hole is clear of any debris, and that is a fountain. Thanks for watching.